Hello vegan adventurers, welcome to our last adventure in Andalusia, Spain. And today, as promised, we're gonna hike the most popular hike in Spain, the El Caminito del Rey Canyon. So let's get started. Before starting the hike, we are enjoying the beach for the last time. After about an hour and a half, we arrived to destination. We're quickly having some vegan lunch, and then we paid for the bus that took us to the beginning of the hike. On the way, we can already see the last part of Caminito del Rey, the attached path on the cliffs. After about 10 minutes, the bus dropped us at this place, and we still have to hike 2.7 kilometers just to the beginning of Caminito del Rey. Here you can see there is a sign to some other hiking path, so there are more hiking possibilities here. We'll get enough hiking today. Just to get to the beginning of Caminito del Rey takes about half an hour from here.
Myself from that. Hey, hey. Sometimes I wish I was somebody else. I was somebody else. I go my own way. Don't care what you say. I do my own thing. I do my own thing. I go my own way. Don't care what you say.
In about half an hour, we got to the beginning of Caminito del Rey Canyon. You can see we're wearing white helmets, so they take safety very seriously here. To visit this canyon, you have to book a place online in advance. It costs 10 euros per person, plus another €1.50 for the bus. It's definitely a big tourist attraction, and especially in the summertime, I would definitely avoid it if you don't like crowds. So the old Caminito del Rey was built in 1920s to facilitate the construction of the hydropower plant. Must have been scary to build it on such a steep cliffs. Now let's enjoy the scenery of the canyon from the attached path to the cliff. Here you can see the power of water making the canyon over millions of years. Now there's little water flowing through here, and it's not drought season. Most of the water is used in animal agriculture.
If we go down in history. Yeah. If we go down in history. Yeah. All I need is me, myself, and I. Sometimes I wish I was somebody else. I was somebody else.
Here we can see some old stairs leading to the bottom of the canyon, but they're not accessible now. And here I'm playing a little game, thinking how much I could climb up on these cliffs before I would fall down. So I think I would make it somewhere till here before the very steep part. And over here on the other side you can see there is a railway going through there, and they also made a tunnel going straight through the mountain. Looking at these rocks, I'm thinking if the best climbers in the world like Alex Honnold could traverse these rocks like this, or even more difficult parts with the overhang over here. We can see old bridge crossing to the other side of the canyon, but it's also not accessible now. Another great activity here would be canyoning to the bottom of the canyon. As we thought going through the canyon we're not gonna get any more sunshine, here we are on the sun again. So if we knew beforehand, we would definitely have lunch here on this nice sunny place versus the darker place beforehand. Also, if you need to go to toilet, this is the best access to nature. The next 2 kilometers we're going through this more open part of the canyon with more vegetation. There's not as thrilling being on the cliff, but we're still getting some amazing views around. Here in the distance we can see the final part of the canyon with the path on the cliff. Here on the other side we can see the railway again, and it goes through the tunnel through these hills. Over here the path follows through this old canal. Here we saw some bigger bird, I'm not sure what kind it is, but it looks spectacular flying over these cliffs. And here we are starting to cross through the last part, which definitely looks the most epic. On the other side you can see spectacular railway bridge with the tunnels. Over here under the new path you can see the old path that was built in 1920s, so you can see it's in pretty bad condition, but people still used to go there. They made it into via ferrata, where you're attached to the steel rope with a harness. After a few people died in year 2000, they closed it completely until 2015 when they reopened this new path. And here we got to this glass platform where you can see the canyon underneath you. Again, I'm not sure if there are any climbing routes here, but this seems like a perfect place for climbing with these spectacular cliffs. And here we can see another old bridge, so the people that were crossing here before must have been really brave, knowing that there was nothing underneath them 100 meters or so. You can see a memorial of these 3 guys that died here in the year 2000. And here we are crossing this final epic bridge 200 meters above the river between 2 cliffs. Here we got on the sunshine again, getting through this last part around the steep cliffs. Here you can see the old path again, so it must have been absolutely thrilling go through that without any higher barriers like we have here. Since we crossed the last bridge, we felt kind of pushed by these guides who were walking right behind us, so I didn't even have time to take pictures properly. Even though the closing time was in half an hour, these guys wanted to go home apparently sooner. If you don't want to get pushed by these guys, don't go at the end of the day here. In Malaga, one of the spectacular tourist destinations inland is Los Gaitanes Gorge. Due to the extensive variety of fauna and flora that can be found inland and in the surrounding countryside, this area has now been classified as a natural protected area. The spectacular Caminito del Rey, the King's Pathway, forms part of the landscape. This pathway was used as a service road some time ago to gain access to the hydraulic installations. Nowadays, although the service road cannot be used, it is still a symbol of the area. Climbers can often be seen on cliff faces along the route because this area is considered to be one of the most important areas in the world to practice climbing. And over here we can see tables with information about different hikes that you can choose from here. Some of them are short and some of them take all day to complete. Since we had some more time before the sunset, we decided to hike some of the smaller loops around here. Here we thought we were seeing the sun for the last time today, but we saw it again in a few minutes. Los Gaitanes is considered to be of great ecological importance, being included in European Ecological Natura 2000 as a special area for conservation and protection of birds in the network of biosphere reserves declared by UNESCO. The birds and flora together with the rocks make the scenery show off its natural beauty. Climbing in these mountains is one of its references to Andalusian, Spanish and European level, given the variety of several routes you can take to get there, and the climate is mild most of the year. Alright guys, we're almost back down in the village, refilling our bottles here at this spring water. Hope you enjoyed watching all the adventures from Spain, from Mallorca and Andalusia, and this grand final today. The Caminito del Rey was definitely worth visiting, the amazing cliffs and the scenery. Though we were kind of rushed at the end by the guides, so I didn't like that at all. To avoid that, make sure you come earlier in the day, and also I would not come here in the summer because it must be too busy here. I'm going back to Slovakia for Christmas adventures in the snow, so stay tuned for those videos. And as always,
stay healthy,
stay adventurous.